Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to part 2 in my pen storage series. And I have to admit, I've had a hard time knowing how to label this because I get a lot of overlap in what I'm thinking about and everything. But basically what we're doing today is we're going to talk about pen trays and pen boxes. So what we did in part 1 was we talked about storage, and they were almost all zipper pen storage cases that I store my pens in that are not inked up. And so when we move into this part, you know, I'm talking about boxes and storage, well, you know, not cases at all, but trays to display the pens, to look at them, and to have them right at my desk for writing. So it's a 3-part series. So the final part will be what I would call my to-go cases, the ones where I'm going to take the pens either from one room to another or somewhere else. So I think maybe when I get all finished with it, I can go back and redo all the thumbnails and make it coherent. But for some reason, I just keep having trouble on how to label it. So I'm going to show you everything that I'm using, and there's kind of a walk back and a you know, to what I was using way back, you know, because this is tomorrow is the 8th anniversary of me making YouTube videos for 8 whole years. So it's kind of exciting. It wasn't really my thing to even be in one job for 8 years. So I think 7 might have been my longest. Yeah, so it's kind of a big deal to me. And some of you who have been here from the very beginning are going to recognize things, and others it might give you some ideas. It might give you a little bit of the range of stuff you can find. So it's even hard. I've been like a couple hours as I was doing other chores, I was contemplating where to begin, and I thought it's just press record and begin because there's so many different directions I could take. But I think we'll start with the familiar. Well, before we even do that, this was all kind of inspired by a comment by ttownreader, who said, I heard you mention you keep your pens in pen cases. Can you do a video about those sometime? I'm really struggling with making sure I pick the right storage. I saw a video where the Pentuber said the material in the case discolored her pens. So that, you'll have to refer back to part 1 where I go into all of that rabbit hole that I found when I started researching, because I have never had any kind of damage to any of my fountain pens, luckily, you know, and probably it just is luck too, because I really didn't know much about the materials that my things were made out of until I did the research. So this time we're just going to focus on, because I couldn't hold it to one video. I said, well, when you look at the whole big picture of how I handle my fountain pens and how I enjoy having them next to me and how I do that, it was really going to require a lot more than one video, and I enjoy this. So I really do. I love to show and tell, I guess you could call it. So so the first one I want to show you is the one you've already seen all the time, but it is the one that I keep right to the left of me on my pen desk where I write letters. And so it is the Galen Leather. And let's see, I've got a thing that kind of is Stack&Store Fountain Pen Display, it's called. And I've still got the pens in it. So this is it, and it holds 11 fountain pens. And I love it. It's just so gorgeous. And those of you who watch my videos know that I just take the lid off, and this is how I show you each month, you know, what I've got inked up. But it's also where they sit, and right at my fingertips, because I always used to use a zipped case that I had them in, but I really, especially for letter writing, I just want a quick draw. You know, they're right there. I can grab them out. And I waited quite a while to order this too, and I had other things which we'll look at going before that, but I've been super happy with it. And the prices have all changed, so I won't give specific prices because they've changed and they're changing. But I will say that to me, it was well worth the money. Of course, this is heavier with the pens in it, but it's wooden, it's well made, and it just, gosh, I think it's well worth the money, even with the increase that Galen Leather has had to make on the price. It's just a little bit higher than when I bought it. But there is something that I would recommend I would actually recommend, if you have animals or a lot of dust or both, like I have, I think that the clear one, the clear cover, as pretty as that is, to be able to just put it on there and see your pens, I kind of don't recommend it for people with cats that are everywhere, or for, I recommend they have another one where the cover is all the same. It's the thinner wood, and it's what I wish I had purchased, but I know I had the right intention. I wanted to be able to see my pens, and that's wonderful. You know, I can see them, and I have to clean it so often, though. It's probably the nature of this area, though. My cats are all in this room a lot. I mean, it's one of their favorite rooms. It used to be a dining room. Now it's 2/3 office and 1/3 dining table. We don't really use it day to day. We use it when there's an occasion. So, but they're in this room, and so there's cat hair everywhere, and I do clean, but I'm not the most meticulous cleaner. So that's the one that's right at my fingertips all the time. Okay, now I think I got to remember, you know, which ones I've covered. Now I think we're going to reverse way back. So what did I start with when I was just starting in the hobby? Well, I started by finding out from a gentleman named Troy LaPlante, and he has a YouTube channel. I don't know if he's still really active or not. I haven't seen his videos come across my feed for a while, but I think he does still occasionally. And he was talking about what a great deal cigar boxes are. And so I found this great big, like, cigar store, you know, tobacco store, I guess you call it. And that's when I found, gosh, the first time I went in there, I told him what I was up to, that I collected fountain pens, and that I, not only that, but I was looking for a nice box to display them in. And would you believe that the gentleman emptied one of these, the Jaime Garcia limited edition boxes? He emptied it. There were only 2 or 3 left, and he said, I'll let you take this one. Well, they were $2 each, but $2. And so I think this holds 8. Let's see. An 8. Yeah, and I used it for a long time with my gin house. Now I kind of, you know, the pens go further down in, and what I plan, which I haven't done, and I went looking, I had some silk handkerchiefs, and I was going to try to create kind of a little... maybe build it up a little so that it wouldn't be so far in, but this was so much fun. I just about went nuts because, you know, then I realized, he said, well, come back anytime. We've got boxes. They're always $2, you know, for the wooden boxes. And a lot of times they were, you know, I did purchase quite a few, because what I discovered was they were great for recipes. They were great for all kinds of things. And then I quit going because I had collected quite a few, and then I gave away quite a few, and I took some to the thrift store. I figured out which ones I really loved. So another thing that happened to me during the tobacco store phase there in the very beginning, 8-9 years ago, was that they would throw these away, these trays, but I only got 2. I got a black one and this one, because I couldn't seem to get it across to them. Could they please kind of like throw them to the side for me, you know, because they would throw them away. Well, they do get really badly, like, you know, damaged pretty quickly, but I had this for a long time, and I used this as my tray for when I did Chris's ink pens, or when I did a review. I like the red, but red is not always going to work really well with every fountain pen. So then that kind of leads me to the next little phase that I went into, and that was that people started telling me that you could order the material to line anything and make it into a fountain pen tray from a place called, I knew I was going to not remember, Penn State Industries. I believe I'm saying that right, but I'm going to link all this down below, everything that I can. And so what I did then was buy these big, let's see, I think they're 12 by 16 maybe. Yeah, 12 by 16 and a half, like tray material. And then you could cut it to any size you want. And oh, what a happy camper I was and still am, because I really like this and I've used it quite a bit. And so this leads me to another, like this is a tray I just took apart a cigar box. It was a very thin one of my $2 cigar boxes. I took the hinges off and I made two like this, so I could like do comparisons, and I could also like by having two of them I could get things ready for a review or comparison little by little. Like I could have, and I don't really have all the space in the world, but I've got quite a bit of space, and I could get that ready. And I've since stained one of these, darn it, but I try to keep them like this on the shelf, like a book, so that they don't get all dirty, because anything without a cover around here just becomes something I've got to clean with tape or what are they, you know, lint roller type stuff. But this is really fun stuff. And so the other thing I did with that, my little mini pens, pocket pens, some of them don't go really well in the cases. And so I got this one cigar box I really loved. It's whoops, I'm hoping I'm not going to jostle the pens too bad. It's leather rose, and it's a really, really pretty one. And then inside it also has like gorgeous art. So there it is, there's the art. So I just put the tray liner, you know, I cut it, and I could put the really odd sized ones, like the too thin ones, the ones that are going to just fall out of anything else, or they're really little. And these, because these are really little, by the way, like the Lilliput, you know, and so I have a bunch of my pocket pens in here. But everything I think that would fit, like the Moon Man and the Kavecos, they now have their own little zipper case, because that's the Galen Leather, they fit in there and they don't fall out. So that's just another example of what I really enjoyed doing with those tray liners. You know, they're really awesome. And I don't know. All I can say is they're still under $20 for four great big 12 by 16.5. And I'll link them for you, because I think that's a really fun way to make your own deal, where you can still, like, with the gray like that, you can really see the pens that you put on here. And it's really kind of cool. You don't have to use a tray. Like, you don't have to put anything. You can just lay that on your desk. But I find I like the structure of it. So let's see. I know this is going to be a real ramble, but let's turn to one other thing, which is not really I said pen cases and trays and boxes, but this was a fun thing, and I'm still using this idea to this day. The Opus 88 pens that I got came with these neat little boxes that look like little school pencil boxes, and I just would take a sticker, and I also would take like a permanent marker and kind of just, I don't know if you could probably tell if you get close enough to it that it had writing there, but I just sort of blacked out the Opus 88 writing. And I keep some of my pens where I have like a lot of the same pen body. Like these are the Jinhao 159s, where what I do mostly with these is I've got a couple nib units I love on them. Oh, okay, so this one doesn't have anything in it. Not a very good example. And so I just, I keep these colors, of course. I love all the different color options. And then I'll just switch this whole unit, the whole thing, because with the exception of maybe one of those might be gold, or two at the most. Everything else is silver, so I could just completely switch them and use any pen body. But you know, right now I was thinking about going ahead and homing them in the Galen leather case, because I never used to have so much real estate. Now that I have that case, I could do that. But I just love these little options like that, especially when you get kind of where I'm at in the collection part. You know, you want to keep them safe from your cats and from damage and everything, and organized so that my brain could help me remember where they are, you know. So okay, so then I want to talk about a very special pen box that I ordered. Emmanuel wanted to get it for me for Christmas, so we ordered it. And I'm not going to say from where, because it doesn't matter. A reputable pen company who I know I could have returned a box to, but I just fell in love with the box itself. But it had a flaw, which was, or it's me. It could, you know, because Manuel, his opinion kind of differed on it. So I sometimes like to check in with him. But it's a NFP design box. And it holds 11 pens, and here it is. it's a gorgeous wooden box, but it's got these strong magnets, and it did not come with these knobs. By the way, that's me. So I couldn't open the box. It's beautiful, and it's got, remember, I was thinking how, oh, darn it, I should have got the Galen leather one with the solid, you know. And so I think that's what we were thinking when I got this one, was there's the nice solid cover. But, of course, it doesn't come apart. So when I do Chris's ink pens, I still want the Galen tray. But the way I had to open this one when I got it, I couldn't lay it flat and open it. I couldn't open it on my desk. I kid you not. No matter how close to myself I got it, I have to have my body involved. I have to hold it like this and open it, because it does not have the little indentation. It didn't have it anywhere on the front or either side. And they show that on their website, yeah. What did I say that they're calling it? NFP Design. NFP Design is the name of the company. Awesome company. They make beautiful pen boxes and trays and stuff. But mine just happened to be that way. So this is the little logo from the company on the back. And so just recently, I mean, I put it back in its original packaging, and I put it in the closet, and I tried to kind of forget about it because I was really bummed. I thought, oh, what a bad mistake on my part. I should have opened it. Whenever you get yourself something for Christmas, open it and inspect it, make sure there's nothing too weird, then put it away, let them wrap it for you. But, you know, really we ought to check things out, because the company I ordered from would have made it right. I absolutely know that they would have. And probably still would have, even though it was so long, because I'm a fairly good customer. But I still was in love with the box. So I started to think about, well, how about putting some knobs so I could just like hold down on one and then lift up? Because I didn't really want to gouge into it to make the little finger hold. Because all you need to do is be able to put your finger in the little indentation, and then you could lift up, right? Or at least that's what what is in theory. But it has some pretty strong magnets on it. So I got these. These little knobs were for piano. You know how a piano has a wooden cover? And it generally has a couple of knobs. Maybe not all of them have the knobs, but you can put those, and then it just makes it easier to lift the cover. And I thought, if they're strong enough for that, it would work. And I asked Manuel about it, because I said, you know, I don't want to put some dinky little knob where once I put it, it's going to like strip or ruin, and then the box is just a goner. And he said, well, are you sure you want to do that? Because I can open the box for you. But the point was to be able to have the box on my desk and open it whenever I want to get a pen out, close it at least at night, you know. But I don't want to have to pick the whole thing up and pry it open like this. So, yeah, it definitely was not it didn't turn out the way I expected, but I'm kind of happy with it now, because it's probably the only one in the world that looks like this. And so I can use it wherever I want. In fact, it's so strong you can pick it up by the knobs. It's crazy. It's really crazy, and it's so cushiony. And when I do put pens in here, it's not too deep. And then it's got this on the top part right here, that when I put the pens in and I do pick the box up, I don't even hear anything moving at all. Like it like holds them in place. So it's kind of a unique, so that was a unique kind of a little outcome there for me. I'm not upset about it anymore, because I can independently open the box, you know, on my desk without getting up or without pulling it toward me. All I do is just put my finger on the one knob, like kind of like that, and then just lift it up. So I've had adventures in pen trays and boxes, which have been all fun. And now that I've solved that one, I'm really, really excited about it. Do you need all these things? No, obviously not. I feel like, yeah, I need something to compare pens in for reviews. I love that. And I want real estate for all my pens. I had, for a long time, I did store all my little pocket pens in a special little, I can't remember the brand name, a little case that was meant for everyday carry. It had nothing to do with pens. But I didn't really like that. It wasn't something I could open and then see them all real easily like I can this box. So even though it takes up a lot of room, I don't mind having the pocket pens there. But I would like to hear if anybody has a really creative or interesting, solution for thin and varied sized pocket pens, because you never know, humming along and then find something that will work better. And this one I think will still hold. Oh, I don't know how much width was that. Let's see. It might not be a full. No, it's not a full. It's just barely 5 1/4. So it is only for the squatty little short pens. That's right. I'd have to make it go the other direction, or I'd have to just make it a free, open box to put things in order for regular length pens to fit in there. So we've got one more pen box to visit, because I got this amazing gift recently that just blew my socks right off, literally, from pen friend Shirlee. It's a Levenger Collector's Lock and Key Inlay pen box, and we're going to go look at that. I'm going to try to move to where it is, because it is a really weighty box. It weighs over 9 pounds, and it's got capacity to put 40 pens, so it's going to disrupt all the storage that I've been telling you about in a very fun and interesting way, because I was thinking how I might learn to refine and understand what my favorite pens are even better with that box if I let myself put my favorites in there and see what stays there. But I wanted to kind of review what I think this one probably is a little bit less, to say, but I wanted to separate it out. I want part 3 to just be what I call the to-go cases, which are the sleeves and the smaller pen cases that I use when I'm going somewhere, or I'm, packing the pens up. Like one time I packed everything up for Hurricane in pen rolls, pen cases, and generally they're rickshaw, but I've got some different ones too. And so that part 3 is something to look forward to. I'm not sure when I'll get to that, but before too long. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at exactly. I mean, I use my library. It's a desk. I guess it's a table desk, just like this is a secretary, the one behind me that I write at all the time. So I've got 2 places where I really write a lot, and then I also write on the dining table there. And I have the habit of journaling wherever I'm sitting. It doesn't matter. So that's probably one of the reasons why I like an A5 with either a cover or something to give it structure, because I'm always looking for something, a book or something to put under me to write with, to keep what I'm writing on, straight, because I'm always either on on one of my chairs or the couch when I do quite a bit of my journaling. But to write letters and everything, I'm at the pen desk or the library table or the well, there's lots of other work that I do at the dining table. So I think we can go and look at that beautiful pen box now. I don't have pens in it because to be honest, I'm saving it for Sunday for the actual anniversary day. And, I'm savoring the idea, and I've been thinking, how you can kind of get ready for something by running it through your mind, kind of beginning a list, or even, and I've started thinking about, well, which exact pens are going to go in there? Because I know from experience that 40 pens doesn't cover everything that I have. And I can remember way back, bless me, you got to just bless me, because I thought that I got it in my head once that I could cut my collection down to 20 pens. I don't know what I was thinking, because it doesn't even make sense. Even if I wasn't a YouTuber, it doesn't make sense. But I got that in my head because I admired some other people who were doing that, and I still admire that. That is some amazing minimalism there. It's like I am not minimal when it comes to books or fountain pens, period. And there may be a few other things too, but a lot of categories I could strip right down to nothing and be just as happy, but not pens and not books. So I laugh at myself now. It's kind of funny, but I was really serious when I got that pen case, and then quickly it became, well, I'll put all my TWSBIs in it and that'll give me a limit of 24 TWSBIs, and I grew out of that too because now it's just Ecos that are in there. So when I got the 40 pen case from Galen Leather, I told myself this is not because we're going to try to make a collection 40 pens, because maybe someday it'll be a must, but right now I don't think I could do it. So we'll if you'll come with me, we'll just go across the room and we'll look at this pen case. But I wanted to tell you that I will review it. I'm going to do a thorough review of the pen case because I think it'll be fun, and because I couldn't find anything. And also another thing to keep in mind as we look at it, it was just such an amazing thing that this pen friend asked me if I would like this, because it had been on my wish list forever, and I don't ever remember talking about it. Maybe I did, but I don't ever remember talking about it. It's a big challenge for me to save money because I'm not naturally a saver, unless it's for a roof or like a practical. But for hobby stuff, I tend to be a little bit more difficult with that kind of thing. So my pen allowance goes like my allowance used to go when I was a little kid. So I had myself wished there had been a review of the pen box. And so I think it'll be a really challenging and interesting thing for me to go ahead and review it. And I want to say, before we even start, a really, really huge thank you to pen friend Shirlee for this beautiful box, and I treasure it. And the timing was just so close to the 8th anniversary of me being on YouTube. So I will pause it, and then we'll meet up over there. Okay, so here we are at the pen box, and it is just so gorgeous. And again, it's called the Levenger Collector's Lock and Key Inlay Pen Case, and it holds 40 fountain pens. It came with this little booklet talking about the wood and what it's made out of and everything, and how natural cherry wood can darken with exposure to light. And it came with a key for it. I haven't used the key, but I thought it was kind of cute. So let's see if I can hold this steady. I hope so. So the top comes up. And of course it's glass. And then this part, the top tray, is kind of built in. And then these doors just open up. So it has 3 drawers with, let's see, it's 11, I think. No, 10. 10 each. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10. So every layer, the top, that has the glass, and then each drawer, you can put 10 fountain pens. And they come right out, which I think is cool too, because there's a lot of application for that in my world, where I might want to have all of one certain pen out. And then let's see if we can kind of take a closer look at the wood here. But we'll do this in the review, because I think it will be really nice to give a review. I mean, on an item like this that's kind of a major investment too, I never could really find a video. If there's one out there, if you know of it, please let me know, because I was really interested myself in that kind of thing. But this is just such a treat, such an amazing treat, and I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Let's see, it says it's made out of alder and cherry veneer. It's 9.65 pounds, and it has, so this part here, it says it's suede lining. So that should be safe. We've done some studying enough to know that the suede is kind of recommended. So that's another one of those little things that I had learned recently. Okay, I think we're going to go back and chat just for a few more minutes, so. There, I just didn't want to end the video with talking and bouncing the camera there. It's a little bit awkward to do holding the camera. I don't ever do that. I always have some kind of bracket, but it was in over there on the dining table. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to learn from you in this type of a category, like pen boxes or trays, or, you know, I'd like to learn about some new things, not so I can go get them, because you can tell that I am totally supplied and overflowing with what works and everything, but I'm infinitely curious, and I also love to find, I know there's some small makers probably among our actual YouTubing fountain pen people who make things, and that's the most fun things to discover, I think. Like when I discovered, and I don't remember who made it, the one, you know, the little bracket that holds 1 dip pen and 7 samples, and I need to look into that, because I can't remember where I ordered it from. It's been so long now. I have this really fat folder full of receipts and stuff, which I will never add the totals up, trust me. I'd rather just add up everything I've earned on YouTube and say, okay, that was probably what I spent. We'll keep it at that. But anyway, so let me know in the comments if there are things that you recommend, things that you use and enjoy. It's always nice to hear about and know about. And this has really been a fun journey. Like, I can't part with that one, the Jaime Garcia box, because for one thing, you know, I mean, this was the very first box, cigar box that I got after learning from Troy that it was a really good idea, and a really like frugal idea for people on a budget. And when I first came into fountain pens 9 years ago, I've had my channel for 8 years, but as of tomorrow, excuse me, but when I first came into fountain pens, it was during a time when my budget was so tight, it was just crazy. I can still remember very vividly that $15 for a Pilot Metropolitan seemed really ridiculous to me. So that was where I was at, and it was really fun to buy the little $2, you know, for a beautiful hardwood, or, well, I don't know if it's hardwood, but it's definitely heavy cigar box that would hold some of my first fountain pens that I got. Okay, so I think that's it, but I'm going to do much as I can down in the description to link these things in case you're interested in learning more about those tray liners and etc. So I'll do what I can to go ahead and do that for you, and I'll see you in the comments, and I look forward to anything you want to tell me about. Bye for now.